All right, everyone, YouTube Rewind season is here. It's getting towards the end of the year. Christmas is a couple of weeks away, basically. By the way, I bought all sorts of weird... I'm trying to go with an all-edible Christmas, with the exception of my niece, who's into Legos and stuff. And so I'm getting people like weird foods, because I know my dad eats stuff like that. So YouTube Rewind is here, and they released it. Link in the description. Dat ratio dough. 1.9. As of right now, there are twice as many dislikes on it as likes, and it's almost 2 million dislikes. They're struggling to hit 1 million people that like the video. Here's the problem. It opens up with Will Smith. I like Will Smith. I think he's talented. I liked iRobot. Men in Black is, kind of okay. It was good at the time when I was a kid, but in retrospect, not quite as funny as it used to be because, you grow up and your humor changes. It's kind of juvenile, but, it's all right. I really liked I Am Legend. I thought that was his masterpiece. I like the dude. Will Smith is likable. He's personable and everything. Now, I'm not surprised he's so successful, but he is not a YouTuber. He was famous before YouTube existed. Men in Black, I think, wasn't it 1997 the first Men in Black came out? How much money did he make from that? He probably made 10, 20 million fucking bucks off that movie because it was such a blockbuster. Here's the thing. It's fine to have Will Smith featured by YouTube. I can remember like when they tweeted out, oh, Will Smith just got YouTube Gold with 1 million subscribers. And of course he got his button like same day. It's all well and good, but it's like, that's not what YouTube primarily is about. And then they have like Casey Neistat on there. I'm thinking, oh, a dude that you've already showcased a dozen times, who has certain political views, maybe. Let's put it that way. I wonder why PewDiePie is not on this list. The fact that he's the first to hit 70 million subscribers now, too, and is still maintaining #1 status. He's going to hit 100 million subscribers at some point. I don't even expect them to celebrate it. I don't even expect YouTube to acknowledge it at this point. Like, they gave him his one-of-a-kind, like, what is it, Ruby play button when he hit, 30 million subs or something like that. And then after the Wall Street Journal defamed him and claimed he was dog whistling to racists or something, all of a sudden YouTube basically cuts him loose and treats him like a leper. I would feel personally slighted if I was him. I'm like, wow, I get fucked over because some legacy media outlet run by a bunch of corporate billionaires convinced YouTube I was a bad person. My average audience age is like, what's the average audience age of PewDiePie? It's probably like what College Humor had for an average audience 10 years ago. So, a dynamic part of the platform as opposed to Will Smith. He's a celebrity who happens to have made a YouTube channel. He's not a YouTuber. And the whole thing just looks horribly out of whack with what YouTube actually has been about. YouTube has been about alternative humor, alternative media, so the edgy side of things was very much an R-rated platform for most of its existence, and now YouTube is trying to sort of dumb it down and make it more celeb-friendly. They're sort of doing what MySpace did in its rebranding, after they already suffered a mental breakdown, and trying to rebrand itself. Oh, we can put your music here, your lame-stream content, very polite. It's no longer allowing any risque photos. It's like what Tumblr's trying unsuccessfully to do. It's the sanitizing of the entire mass internet. And it's not without its problems. Of course, there's a reason why alt media is definitely growing right now, and there's a reason why it's being attacked and defamed so much, along with everyone that supports it. Ultimately, if you support alt media, it makes you a target for these outrage mobs that are spawning all the time. Can't wait till they exhaust themselves. Just like the last online moral panic, the DMCA Dark Age. We're talking like 2011 in that era, when so many creators got screwed off of platforms because of copyright. And eventually money spoke louder than outrage, though, and the moral panic died down. But I'm looking at the ratio, looking at the video. It's like drag queens and like these very safe content creators that fit in sort of the progressive mold. And it's sort of like a political message, too. Why do you think it's getting ratioed right now? It's not because, you hate-filled people on YouTube. No, it's because people are tired of being preached to by a corporation that ostensibly, originally is about platforming other people's creations. And yet here you have an amalgamation supposedly representing the highlights of 2018, and it's Casey Neistat and Will Smith. No. That doesn't make any sense at all. Will Smith was not the highlight of 2018. The fact that he hit YouTube Gold during this year was not a major event for the platform. It was made into a talking point by YouTube. Oh, look, here's a celebrity. He gets 1 million. Wonderful. I like Will Smith. I have no problem with him certainly having a YouTube channel. Interesting stuff. Really great. But that's like saying, well, Arnold Schwarzenegger joins the platform. He blows up a tank or something. We've got to showcase him. Well, he's not a YouTuber. He's famous. He's rich. He's a cool dude. He's funny to listen to. But he's not primordially, he didn't make his mark on YouTube to begin with. This would be like if you had a BitChute rewind and they're like, okay, we're gonna talk about Bob Dole on how he joined the platform and has other people post content. It wouldn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense at all. YouTube has spawned plenty of people who are just as arguably as well known as Will Smith. PewDiePie's pretty much a household name. There are dozens of creators with 10 plus million fucking fans. They've got the equivalent. They're the equivalent of platinum selling musical artists as far as their recognition. I can't even imagine what it's like when PewDiePie walks down the street. Everyone in his town has to know who he is. Do they even call him by his real name at this point? And then YouTube's like basically fuck off. Yeah, the highlight of 2018 isn't, hey, you hit 70 fucking million subscribers. Dwarfing your count. I remember there was a hit piece at the beginning of the year with regards to YouTube and PewDiePie. I'm not trying to make this a video about, oh, my PewDiePie should have been in the rewind. No, it goes way beyond that, but it's a good point because he's the largest creator on the platform. They were like, oh, YouTube is slowing down, PewDiePie is slowing down. Oh, yeah, basically the platform is stagnating and stuff. Didn't he start off the year with under 60 million subscribers? Now he's upwards of 70 and quickly rising up because of the fact that he's battling another channel that isn't even a person that appears to be botting. By the way, I do believe those claims. Because of that, his growth rate has skyrocketed even more. It's been the year of fucking PewDiePie for growth. Yeah, he gets plenty of money. Don't worry. His hat sales, I'm sure, are still quite high. So you've got this rewind video. It's like YouTube is trying to connect with its creator community, sort of appreciate people, but it misses the mark. These are not the up-and-coming next generation of happy, shining YouTubers. No, you've got someone who's been well-known for years, somebody who isn't primarily a YouTuber, and then a bunch of progressives, so-called social issue creators and stuff, and some flashing colors and people dancing around with songs that most people have never even heard of. That's not the highlights of 2018. It doesn't make any sense. It's like if years ago you'd say, okay, the highlight 20 Gautier, gets on there because he has a hit song. Well, not primarily a YouTuber. The fact that the song took off didn't have anything to do just with YouTube. If you're going to do the highlights of your platform, highlight people who primarily are involved with the platform, not people from elsewhere, not people who already were big years and years ago. Unless you want to fixate on the one person who truly has skyrocketed during that period, which is PewDiePie. Notice there are no what you would consider alternative media voices on this list of the YouTube Rewind. It's like, oh, yeah, you got people with hundreds of thousands, millions of subscribers that get totally ignored. And so it is kind of funny. I've spoken before. Despite the fact that I have, 100 times more subscribers now than I did even just a few years ago, I feel less appreciated today than I did maybe back in 2010 or 2011, in the dark age of the DMCA days. I felt more appreciated back then, and I think that that's a shame because YouTube really is a fun platform. I like being on YouTube. I like using YouTube both to make and absorb content. It's a great jukebox in addition to all the political commentary and news I can keep up with. I love the format. It's an easy to use and fun site. But it's starting to decline away from being quite so fun because of these sorts of mistakes and deplatforming and pushing this weird pro-censorship agenda that, it doesn't make any sense in retrospect. YouTube was literally built, this is basic, express yourself, upload what you want. Yeah, we don't care if it's bum fights and Tourette's guy. That was YouTube 10 years ago. It's getting away from that and becoming more of a sanitized platform. I think that's a damn shame. That's about all. Peace out.